The world, engulfed in fire and steel, German tanks crushed Europe, Japanese planes rained bombs on Pearl Harbor. In that smoke and chaos, humanity stood on the edge of survival, and then leaders emerged. Not only with weapons in their hands, but with intellect, courage, and a vision beyond their time. This is the story of the men who turned the tide of war and rewrote the fate of the world. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a man in a wheelchair who made the entire world stand tall. When America still slept in the illusion of peace, he saw the storm coming. And after the flames of Pearl Harbor, Roosevelt transformed a weary nation into the most powerful war machine in history. He never fought on the battlefield, but every word he spoke, every order he signed, thundered like a call to arms. Roosevelt led not through power, but through faith. Faith that freedom must be defended, at any cost. When all of Europe had fallen, Britain stood alone against the storm of steel. And in the darkest nights of the Blitz, one voice still echoed, "We shall fight on the beaches. We shall never surrender." Winston Churchill, the indomitable spirit of the island nation, he didn't just give orders, he gave hope. He didn't just speak of war. He spoke of the survival of liberty itself. Churchill taught the world that leadership is the act of igniting faith, even when all around you is darkness. To the east, another man was fighting, in his own way, Joseph Stalin. A dictator, a cold and ruthless man, yet the one who held a nation together in the inferno of war. When the Nazi army stormed across the border, Stalin fought not just with guns, but with the unyielding will of his people. At Stalingrad, millions perished. But from the snow and ashes, the Soviet Union rose again and drove the invaders from its motherland. In war, he was a wall of steel. In history, he stands as proof that sometimes, coldness is the price of survival. Dwight D. Eisenhower, the architect of victory, before him lay a map, covered in countless lines and symbols. Every mark, every arrow a life on the line. On June 6, 1944, he gave the order for the Normandy invasion, a decision that could lead the world to freedom or to hell. Eisenhower knew, leadership is bearing the weight of failure, even before it comes, and he prevailed. D-Day, the day destiny turned, the day the world began to breathe again. George S. Patton, the general who never retreated. Wars are won not by defense, but by attack. Patton was a living flame. He believed that speed, courage, and willpower mattered more than any strategy. Across Europe, his tanks rolled like thunder. He was not a perfect man, but he was the man victory required, because in the fiercest moments of war, the world needs those who dare to move before fear can take hold. In the Pacific, a promise echoed through the explosions, "I shall return." Douglas MacArthur, the general of honor, of unshakable loyalty, forced to retreat from the Philippines, his promise to return became a beacon for millions. 3 years later, amid smoke and fire, he came back exactly as he vowed. When he signed Japan's surrender, he ended the war not with violence, but with faith that honor never dies. 6 men, 6 characters, 6 souls, bound by one destiny. They didn't just lead, they reshaped history. Roosevelt, Churchill, Stalin, Eisenhower, Patton, MacArthur, each with his own path, but all sharing one truth: never back down. Leadership is daring to believe when the world doubts. It's seeing victory through the smoke of despair. And these minds, these hearts brought freedom back to life from the ashes of war. Who, in your eyes, was the greatest leader of World War II? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story powerful, please like, subscribe, and join us as we continue the journey through history's most heroic chapters. Thank you for watching.